Activity around the area, but that's mainly been concentrated in our southern counties. We've seen some of that rain expand northward. Otherwise, though, just a few remaining light showers. Now, as we head into the overnight hours tonight, we still have the chance of seeing some of those light showers that will continue even into the day tomorrow. And really, rain is going to continue through the next 7 days. We've got rain in the forecast each week. As far as tomorrow, temperatures warming into about the 60s, so a little cooler than today. But as we head into the later part of the work week, we'll begin to see a warm up. And I'll have complete details about all of that in a few more minutes. KSN Local News at 10 starts now.
Now in high definition, local, part of your community. This is KSN Local News at 10.
Good evening and thanks so much for joining us. I'm Jessica Shear.
And I'm Philip Mitchell. Staff at the Asylum Haunted House in Chautauqua are moving forward after a devastating fire over the weekend.
KSN's Jasmine Woods spoke with the owner about plans to rebuild.
For the past 7 years, the Asylum Haunted House has welcomed thousands of patrons, but a fire is forcing the local attraction to close.
You put this many years of blood, sweat, and tears in a project, and then it goes down, down the drain.
Sunday afternoon around 4:30, workers were grilling in the backyard of the asylum when strong winds caused the flames to spread uncontrollably. Fire departments throughout Labette County responded and spent the next 4 hours putting out the blaze. The majority of the fire wasn't under control until 8:15 that evening.
It's horrifying. It's horrifying for everybody involved and for the city. It was a struggle getting us on the map and getting us out there. It took 8 years to get where we are now. Residents say the loss of the haunted house leaves limited entertainment options for children in the area.
A small town like this, it just isn't much to do, and it's 25, 30 miles to a town of any size, so yeah, I feel sorry for the kids.
Staff say the haunted house is about 95% destroyed. However, they are still hopeful about the future.
We have a support system all the way from Oklahoma City to St. Louis right now, and we are rallying. We are ready to open up our next haunt, bigger and better than what this is, but it is kind of a shock to us.
Staff are accepting donations to rebuild the haunted house, and they are confident that their fans will continue to support them.
We're fighters, we're family, it will continue, we love this. We don't know where we'll be. We're looking at surrounding areas, but hopefully we'll be back up and running this year for everybody.
In Chautauqua, Jasmine Woods, KSN Local News.
Now, for more information on how to send donations to the asylum, we have a link on our website. Just go to 4stateshomepage.com and click on this story.
While many areas in the 4 states have public storm shelters ready for the storm season, the city of Pittsburgh does not. Pittsburgh Fire Marshal and Safety Coordinator Charles Bass says none of the city buildings are or should be thought of as a storm shelter during severe weather. This is an effort to get people to start thinking about what they will do during a severe storm well before it happens. Bass says residents should start designating areas in their homes as a place to go during severe weather, and adds only relying on a storm shelters could be dangerous and too late when bad weather occurs.
They hear those sirens and they'll immediately get in their cars, and then you can imagine thousands of people flooding the streets all at once trying to get to the same location. So that's a concern that we have.
Bass also says residents should make sure everyone in the family knows their severe weather contingency plan well before a storm happens.
Kansas lawmakers introduce a bill to restrict the way people use welfare benefits. Now, under this bill, people who receive welfare can only withdraw up to $25 per day. There are also restrictions on where recipients can spend the money and what they're allowed to purchase. Restrictions include jewelry stores, arcades, swimming pools, movie theaters, and other entertainment facilities. Now, if the bill becomes law, those found guilty of spending at restricted areas could be charged with fraud. Lawmakers say the restrictions will help recipients spend public assistance more responsibly.
Missouri voters may get the chance to follow in the footsteps of Colorado and Oregon with a ballot issue over legalized marijuana. 2 state-level petition drives are underway to put the question on the 2016 ballot. Each would allow recreational pot use, and one measure would also release all inmates held on nonviolent marijuana convictions. Some local voters have mixed opinions on whether Missouri should legalize the drug.
I think it's a good idea. I think it's a good idea that we put it to a vote. I think it should be legal, so I'm hoping it passes.
It would be a wise decision to put this decision into the hands of the people because that's the way voting should work.
To get the measure on the ballot, supporters must gather tens of thousands of signatures from across the state by the deadline, which is in May of 2016. And marijuana isn't the only potential topic for the ballot next year. There are several issues approved for the petition process. Petition 21 deals with parents' rights to make decisions about their children's education, religion, and discipline without interference from the state. Petition 26 would limit the duties of the State Board of Education, giving individual school districts control of teacher qualifications and student curriculum. Petition 30 would soften prison sentences for nonviolent felony drug offenders, including shorter terms, community service, and work release. We've got a link to each issue going through the state process, and you can find it all on our website, 4stateshomepage.com.
After 20 years of service, Detective Sergeant Chad Allison is retiring from the Joplin Police Department. The Joplin Police Department held a reception in Allison's honor today. Now, Allison plans on taking a few weeks off before beginning his next job as an investigator with the Carthage Police Department. Even though Allison is leaving the Joplin force, his family still calls Joplin home and says it played a big part in getting his career off on the right foot.
The thing about Joplin is it's the right size, and I was able to do a lot of different things in my career that I wouldn't have been able to do at other agencies, and so it was nice to be able to be a canine officer, work narcotics, and do the things I like to do. And the citizens of this community, I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better place to work and call home.
Allison says the only thing that would get him to leave law enforcement is fishing.
Well, if you live in Nevada, you can now have a U.S. flag delivered and installed on your lawn for major holidays. According to the Nevada Rotary Club, they're selling the flags this year as a fundraiser. For $35 per year, Rotary members will deliver and install a 5-foot by 3-foot flag on your front lawn starting with Memorial Day. The Rotary president says it's a great way to raise money for the several groups they support.
I think this is a good project for us because it also brings the community together on those days, and it helps show off our community. Our community will look really nice on those days that the flags are flying.
Now, their goal is to sell 100 subscriptions. Anyone who wants to get a flag can fill out an application at the Nevada Rotary Club.
The Show Me State Games kicked off its 2015 torch run today in Joplin. 4 years ago, representatives with Shelter Insurance contacted Show Me State Games officials about bringing back the torch run, and now the annual event travels through 10 cities before going to its final stop in Columbia on July 17th. Now, this leads up to the opening ceremonies for the Show Me State Games.
What it's all about. I mean, I think it speaks volumes for why we're in Joplin. Even though the summer games are in mid-Missouri, we take a lot of pride in the fact that we are a statewide and one of the few that really draws from everywhere in the state of Missouri.
Now, around 25 people participated in today's torch run in Joplin. Those included athletes, insurance agents, and city leaders. Turning back to weather, meteorologist Stacey Garvilla here with a look at our forecast. Of course, they ran in a pretty gloomy day today, and we're all just wondering when we're going to see that sunshine again.
Well, I think we will see a little bit of sunshine this week, but overall, we have a pretty unsettled pattern shaping up with rain chances and a few thunderstorms in the forecast every day this week. I'll have all the details about that up next in my full forecast. But first, here's a look at the almanac, where highs today were about 10 degrees cooler than yesterday. We'll be right back.
Now in high definition, this is KSN Local News with Philip Mitchell, Jessica Shear, meteorologist Stacey Garvilla, and Eric Annette. We are KSN Local News.